It is 9 o'clock on the 29th. This is the Economic and Development Committee meeting. Yeah, okay. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the minutes from our last meeting, which was November 1st.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Okay. All right. So, it looks like we're here for a TIF application for B&T Glass, which was formerly Slack Glass. I know you guys have seen a little bit of the paperwork. Do you need a minute? Do you want,
I read all through it. I read her stuff yesterday and
okay.
the brand development talked to Kirby and that.
Yep.
Got information.
Yeah, we got information from our development company. Obviously, these three are the owners, ownerships. I don't know if you know all of them. You guys,
I know
Quinn,
two
you
of them.
know?
He looks familiar. You work over there, don't you?
Brandon
I
does.
do.
Okay.
Yep, so it's Nick Kroenlein, Brandon Haines, and Tyler Sims, and they're all co-owning, Slack. You guys wanna speak a little bit about what your hope is for, is it gonna stay the same business? Is it involving?
Sure, absolutely. So, as part of the deal, we're changing the name to B&T Glass. They wanted to keep Slack Glass, so we'll start there. What the plan is, when we look, Slack Glass has been an incredible business, but when we start to look at what we can do as far as advertising, as far as expanding in the commercial market and the automotive market, especially through advertising and then just working, because they have been established for so long, their business has been incredible just from word of mouth. So we have kind of a marketing plan that we want to go after insurance companies, auto body shops, and then get out into the commercial glass with other construction companies. And to do that, they currently have a storage unit that they use to store all their glass and parts and stuff in, which we do not get as part of the deal. And then in order to grow in the automotive glass, we need more bays. The current bays are used primarily for work zones, either making commercial glass. So we want to be able to expand in order, one, to store, but then two, also to be able to do more automotive glass. And in the automotive glass, the world has changed to sensors, and so we're currently exploring the equipment that it would take in order to do and configure commercial glass. I know that sounds weird, but with sensors and stop sensors and such, and that's pretty much a stationed bay that you would need to do that as well. But when you do commercial glass, they're also making frames on site. And in order to make 30 frames for a big commercial job, we currently wouldn't have the room to store that, let alone make those. We do, as you can see in the application, we do think we can triple the revenue within the first year to 2 years, as well as with the revenue comes the jobs.
Absolutely, because right now, once you guys have took over, is the Deckers still going to?
We do have them as needed.
As needed?
Yep, and we will definitely probably be utilizing that because they're very valuable in the glass industry.
Absolutely.
But at this time, they employed 2 people total, according to the books, and we think we could easily be at 5 or 7 people within 2 to 3 years.
Absolutely.
And that is a conservative.
Because currently, Brandon, I know you're.
I'm the actual only real employee.
Yeah.
I guess Leanne is on payroll as well, though.
Yeah, so that's what my thought process was, like, obviously you guys are gonna have to hire to do the transition and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we already have, interviews out for some of the positions we haven't posted publicly. And we do have quite a bit of jobs on the books already without advertisement, just from people calling. And a lot of it is in other communities, which is good. So I'm just really looking forward to being able to expand in order to manipulate some of this, because if not, the business is going to be stagnant.
I'm gonna ask you, what do you guys like, the addition and everything we do over there, I was one, and Kirby talked to Jordan about it, was kind of wanting a breakdown, because anytime we do a TIF or business district or whatever, we always want to know what the breakdown's gonna be, because there's so much stuff that TIF will fund and it won't fund.
Okay.
And that's why we asked for this. Can you kind of, I was just glancing at it, you guys want to kind of explain it a little bit, and one of you guys on all this stuff here? You got all the different things you're doing?
Sure, so, you'll see the bids broke down, and the first, major number is around $130,000, which would be a 30 by 40 addition on the south side of the building. That includes all concrete, insulation, interior walls being finished, lighting, electrical, everything that would need to be operational to move forward. So that is the 130 figure. To redo all the concrete, that would be from the very far south side boundary line, which would take in front of the new addition, all the way here to the main intersection, and would wrap around the north side, right across from the police station. That's the $70,000 figure that we got to redo all that concrete. We also have a small $10,000 add-on for new overhead doors. So right now, the building currently has two kind of older, out-of-date, not insulated doors that we'd like to match with the new addition that will have one door added to it. Then the $55,000 figure is for the new showroom. And there's a lot that has to go into that. There's a lot of kind of choppy, small rooms in there that we're gonna completely gut out, open it up, and create a showroom to not only show commercial work, but like Nick touched on, getting into residential windows, displays for customers to look at, shower doors, etc. So that's kind of the breakdown.
And then the 18,000 for exterior painting.
Oh, I'm sorry, yep.
If you look at the building, you can tell that it's starting to fade, and it's gonna need attention. If not, we'll be in a worse situation with the outside.
It would be our idea that the new addition would be more of a darker, modern type look, and that quote matches that to the new addition, not only the sidewalls, but the entire roof. It's a complete repaint.
Now, you guys own all the way up to the driveway of the bank, is that?
That's correct,
about-
roughly that tree line where that curb is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I don't know what, do we have any kind of ordinance against property line like that?
They
Like,
have to be 5 feet away from the property line.
So we've actually already taken that into consideration, and the addition would stop short and allow plenty of space.
I think, and that's all commercial there, I think you can go closer than
well, that's what
that.
I think, so
Yeah.
if it's commercial,
I'm not
I was like,
positive.
yeah, I'm not really, but granted, we also don't wanna, like, cause traffic issue.
Right, right.
You guys, yeah, you guys are all the way up on the
Oh, they're-
line, and then you park your vehicle on it, and then like,
Yeah.
some old ladies do.
No, we took that into consideration,
No, I mean-
there's space there.
Okay,
Yeah, that's just, I think it's clear up to the property line, really.
yeah.
You have
Which-
to, have to know where it's at. That was all surveyed
Mm-hmm,
over the Taco Ray property.
right. Now, as far as, this is gonna be an all-metal building,
Correct.
do we, Kirby, does that fall in the lines of that? Okay.
Yep.
So that ordinance states that we can't have a full front-faced metal structure, right?
I believe that is what the standard language is in the ordinance, but I do know that there are instances where a variance can be offered, possibly like in the event that it's already an all metal building, so that's just something I'll have to go through planning and zoning.
Okay,
They take it on a case by case basis. I would imagine, since the building is currently already with that aesthetic, that they would probably be
okay,
okay with
just
it.
keep with it.
Yeah.
If not, it's like a percentage of the front of the property has to be, a different material.
Because this is an addition, right?
Yeah, this would be an addition.
And then we do have the office area that's glass plus the two overheads, so
Right.
there's some breakdown.
Yeah, so it's not like it's, yeah, you're not putting a whole barn up, it's gonna be mostly doors on the front, no, I understand that, but you guys.
Okay, Kirby,
Speaking.
on these things, I know we talked to Moran The concrete for driveway and sidewalk, that's a TIF project, could be a TIF.
It could be considered an eligible use of the funds, yes.
What about the new garage doors? Would
Yes.
that could be too? Then what about painting? That wouldn't be
The
part of it.
exterior, I think that.
So it comes into play the question of an eligible versus a responsible use. So yes, typically you could include painting a building, but it goes back to the basis of need,
But
that
that would fall under the facade grant as well.
it could, yes. We could look into a blend of just TIP or business district funds and then facade improvement grants, program money too, so yes.
What about the demolition interior? I don't think that could be part of it. That's what I thought. And then the building addition, that really can't or could be.
The building addition could be considered as well, yeah.
Did you guys acquire the business in Bandaya too?
They sold that.
They sold it.
Yeah.
Will it be used for a glass business or is it,
No,
No.
feed store bought it.
really? I didn't know if you guys would pick up that business that they might have
We get it, I think,
acquired.
out of all the
have
jobs,
Established in there.
like 75% of the jobs we've already received going forward are Vandalia. Yes.
Yeah. Just marketing alone, you guys will triple business. I mean,
Thank you.
obviously it's one of those businesses, it's an established business, so it's been there, so everybody knows
Just
about
do
it.
some
So it's
figure
just like,
here,
oh,
just
well, we
a
can
rough-
keep 3
Yeah.
employees because we can pick and choose what we wanna do and we, but like anything, if you want to, I mean, they knew they were retiring one day.
That's right, they did an excellent job.
Hopefully run that food truck, cause that thing was so good. I loved their food truck. I think he sold it though, didn't he? Yeah. He was
Okay.
gonna-
Now we gotta decide what we, the building addition is 129,000, the 70,000, the 10, and the 18, comes up to 227. Then 30% is 68, 100, that's a starting point, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Hold on, you put, what did you put in here?
The 129,000, you wanna double check my figures? Yeah, you can double check if you want to too, Kirby.
Okay.
What I did was the top 4 things, or we can,
The top 4 things on the attachment that I included, the
The
email from Nick,
application.
or,
the Gmail where it says.
oh, okay, gotcha.
Application for TIP funds, and then we can decide if we wanna do that, the 18,000 or the 55 go into that.
Right, because I was just thinking, if we pulled this out, we can do $5,000 on it, because that's our max on the, facade, isn't it?
Yep, right,
Our facade's
5,000,
5, so we
Okay.
could, I mean, that's a little bit more than 30%.
okay, you wanna,
The painting, that might help.
then
a
we
little.
wanna do something with this, we really haven't done much with that. This is like the building addition, and concrete sidewalk,
Yeah.
then 2 garage doors.
Yeah.
And then this basically falls under the facade grant, that's, we've been
Right.
5,000 on them.
That's the max, so.
And then like the demolition interior, exterior, the interior and the interior showroom, they're wanting to do that.
So
What
we,
do you,
That's what, kind of what I
I
think.
mean, that's the way we've always done it.
as
It's
far
the
as
outside is what we
TIF
do.
versus business
Roof.
district,
You know,
what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, TIF is typically modifications to the building, anything that could potentially increase the property tax value of the existing property. Business district, it's usually newer developments, property acquisition, things of that nature. Really, I mean, they're interchangeable. There's not too many things that differentiate between the eligible uses of both of those funds. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too concerned necessarily about which one you pull from. One's just, my phone's going crazy. One's just generated from property taxes and one's generated from business district taxes. So,
so hearing that, the acquiring of assets or of a business is in the business district, funds, wouldn't we include the purchase of the building in the formula?
There's a difference between property acquisition
Mhm.
and business acquisition.
Right,
So typically, it is only an eligible use of TIF or business district funds for property acquisition when the property is, vacant, derelict, however you wanna refer to it as. So with this one,
Unused. Unused.
unused, because the entire purpose of TIF funding and business district funding is to eliminate blight in your downtown area, serve as an economic catalyst of that district. And currently, you could make the argument that it wouldn't be a responsible use of TIF and business district funds because it's already an existing business and has been for decades and has been successful in its current operation. Now, you could, based upon what Jake at Moran Economic Development told me, you could go in to take the property acquisition price, differentiate between the business acquisition and the actual property acquisition, get a value of the building itself, and do a percentage off of that. He said, but still at that, given what the philosophy is behind TIF and business districts, and especially with what our community currently has and what we're wanting to do with our TIF and business district funds, that probably wouldn't be a responsible use of those funds to consider for property acquisition, is what I was told.
Storage, but the auto glass and stuff. Will that be something as soon as the structure's up, you guys are ready to roll? Like, are you trained to do that?
yeah, he's trained on the auto class, but in order, we can replace one individual in our current size, and we're maxed. We're completely maxed, and this was an effort, you guys mentioned Vandalia. Like, there's already a building there waiting for us to go look at. This was an effort to try to expand here, keep it all here, without having to go to these other communities, because a lot of our work is in the other communities. There is 2 glass people we know of within a 30-mile radius that's retiring in the next couple of years that have assets that they have already spoke to us. So this was kind of an effort to just be like, set our home grounds here, and then in order to expand the business. And it's, the expansion is number 1 crucial for us, because we can't do a showroom, we can't hire more employees. Like, with the purchase of the business, we're maxed. So that's why we're asking for the assistance. The sidewalks, all that, was try to make it just look better around City Hall. Same with the painting, not to have 2 colors of the building, which we would never let happen. But in order for us to grow and really make any of this happen, the addition is crucial for us.
While you're doing all the building addition and all this work, you'll still be open, you'll still do stuff, keep going.
With our current size and our current 1 to 2 employees.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't hate to see somebody not have any money coming in while all the renovations going on.
Right.
After taking that out.
Well, I figure it comes up to 214, unless I did it wrong. What'd you do, add 129, 70 to 10, and then 5?
I didn't add the 5 because that's not included in the percentage, because we're gonna do that separately.
Okay,
So you be 209. Cause that'll run through a facade.
we can do that, we can, Kirby,
Yes.
on this, we can separate this a little bit, do a facade for the $5,000, that way we won't be using that as part of the percentage.
I mean, in theory, yes, you can, but I mean, really, the facade improvement grant monies come from the TIF fund as well. So, I mean, there's a separate line item in the TIF budget for it, but
Yeah.
basically, they're both gonna come from the same fund. But yes, you could do that, but just so you know, it does come from the same thing.
Okay. So then, It would just be more paperwork.
basically, which is, I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it would be for line item reasons, for budget reasons, for trying to, litigate what fund is, what money's coming from what location.
Don't
I would recommend doing the two.
Yes, too, okay.
Just helps for tracking purposes too, to see the amount of businesses within the district that participated in the program as well,
So
so
do a facade on the 5 and then
I would,
you'll have to explain that to Steve. That
Yeah.
when he draws all this up,
I will.
so what are you thinking?
I mean, 30% would be 62 cents.
Could also look into the option as well of doing like a base incentive at the beginning, like upfront cost for the renovation, and then a sales tax rebate, through the business district as well. So they have these projections of how much their sales are gonna go up based on the expansion of the offerings within the building. You could always look into doing a sales tax rebate too. It kinda is more of a, performance-based incentive. So you could do one upfront for the cost of the, expansion that's needed. And then the other part of that, you could do a sales tax rebate up to a certain amount that equals up to what you were thinking of giving. Just an option.
You wanna figure that out? Figure them out for us?
I can, but my projection would be based upon the current, sales tax that's being brought in. So that would be about $5,300 a year that the current operation is bringing into the business district. Cause I don't see any, is this on here, the expected growth of annual taxable sales due to project completions, 1 million in growth, so addition to that, or is that?
That's correct. So 1.5. Within the first, I think I put 3 years, which would like triple that number, close.
Real good.
Only possible if we have an expansion. I wanna make sure you guys understand that, because then if we can't expand in 2 or 3 years, I don't want you asking why my numbers were so skewed. So,
Well, it depends on the economy, what happens.
yeah,
Right.
Hopefully with all the